So, welcome everybody. Obviously, my name is Joanna from Ardito Baby, and I'm here today with Sebastian. If you wanted to sort of introduce yourself, Sebastian, at all?
Yeah, hi. I'm Sebastian Witkowski, and I work for myHummy. And I'll tell you later what myHummy is.
Yeah, we'll keep it a bit of a exciting lead everyone on. But yeah, so today we sort of just wanted to have a little bit of a conversation, obviously, around helping with children's sleep, the difficulties around sort of parents getting their children to sleep, and what ways we can sort of help with that, the problems that obviously parents face. Sleep time is obviously a big thing in every family, especially when you've got a little one. Getting them to sleep can be a huge struggle. So we just sort of wanted to have a little bit of conversation around that, and bring, obviously at the end, bring in something that might be able to help. But yeah, I guess the biggest problem obviously parents having at the moment with little ones is sleeping and how to get them to sleep. Finding things that can help. There's all sorts of things that are on the market. Obviously, you've got sleep sacks, you've got things to help with noise, blackout curtains, you've got the whole kit and caboodles out there. But yeah, what's sort of your experience? You're more experienced in all of this market than me. So what's your biggest sort of tips with parents and things?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so indeed, as a company, so myHummy, we specialize in baby sleep and in soothing babies.
Mm-hmm.
So we've done plenty of trials and research and tests, and tested a lot of different approaches. And the solution that we found is based on our real life experience.
Yep.
So in general, human race, we are so cool because we have big heads, right? So we have big heads, we have big brains. So when we are born, we are not really ready to function like other mammals.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why some babies struggle with the outside world, because it's still a pregnancy, really, according even to some scientists. Even if you're outside, you're still it's kind of a pregnancy period. So some babies struggle, some babies don't. It's around 50-50. Even in our family's example, one of our daughters didn't cry, and the other one did cry a lot. And we don't know why that is, but it's around 50-50% chances that you might that you will have a baby that needs more support, and 50% chance that your baby will not need support. So so focusing on those who need support, obviously there are different babies and there are different approaches. It's about hugging. It's about hugging is probably the best thing to do ever. But sometimes you, as a parent, you also need to go to sleep. You also need to have some rest in order to be a better mom or dad. And that's especially crucial at night. So what we have found out, and it's actually based on people's experiences from the past. Some people in Poland were soothing babies by turning a hairdryer on with some noise.
Wow, interesting. Yeah.
Washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is that actually those noises are close to the noises that a baby hears inside a womb. when
Yeah.
there is this
That
sound
white noise, they
around.
call it. Yeah.
Sorry, say it again. Sorry.
White noise, I think they call
Oh
it.
yes, exactly. Yeah. So the white noise is a a scientific name for this this phenomenon, and the founder of this company had this idea. So if we use a hairdryer, maybe we could put a little noise device inside a teddy bear, and that's how we invented such a bear with a heart inside, a device that generates white noise. So it's like,
Okay, cute. Yeah.
and it really helps. Yeah, according to our surveys among consumers, up to 84% of moms recommend using white noise. So they have positive experiences. Obviously, the ones who were responding were more into sleep problems. Hence, the number is higher than 50% of general population. But those who use it, they 84% works.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty high score, pretty high chance that you might solve the problem. And so you have the white noise. Babies fall asleep, and that's that's becoming that's like a kind of standard nowadays. And so the simple device. So then we thought, okay, what happens if a baby falls asleep but then wakes up at night? Do you go to to the baby and switch on the myHummy again? So we created a cry sensor. So the same device, but with a sensor that actually detects when the baby starts crying, and then it switches on the noise. And then
interesting. Wow. Yeah.
And then after some minutes, it switches off, and life is beautiful again.
Okay, so it's quite different to sort of you get a lot of machines that'll just sort of do a white noise all night. So that's very interesting.
Yeah. So, and obviously it's all built in those bears or bunnies. And what's interesting is that when a baby grows, in the beginning, a baby doesn't recognize music or colors, things like that. But after some time, it's more or less around the third month, a baby starts to recognize melodies and music. Obviously, babies hear the music, but they don't construct.
Yeah.
So after the third month, you still use white noise, but you might want to introduce also some lullabies. Yeah. And here comes another innovation. So we introduced last year. We introduced such bunnies with ears and cute face. They come in different colors and with a special device, which apart from the white noise, the sensor, it also has lullabies. And actually what we did, we created special lullabies for different countries. So we have Polish lullabies based on the best Polish ones, and German, French, and English. All consulted with Anglo-Saxon culture people. Yeah, so that's.
You got your Australian lullabies in there.
I hope they are similar to English. And are they like what's your top lullaby, or what comes to your mind?
I think they would be. I mean, I don't really know what sort of English would be, but I think they're all fairly much the same.
Uh-huh.
Just all the lullabies you get in your little toys and things. I think
Yeah.
that would be the same.
Okay, so yeah, so there is a whole set, and if you want, let me just show you something. Da-da-da-da-dum.
It's quite interesting then. Is that do you then use obviously your bunnies and things, can they be used sort of as a comfort thing as well? Like can they actually touch, like use it as a, I guess a cuddly, I guess you would call it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are all made with plush, so so you can touch them,
Yeah.
you can treat
Yeah.
them as a pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a combination of both. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's an electronic design and a toy. Sorry, I just wanted to show you some tracks, and
Yeah,
maybe
definitely.
then you would recall the names of the lullabies, because that's just a nice thing to do. Oh, yeah, or whatever. I can't find them now, but in general, there are several lullabies, and then we went even further. Okay, you have the lullabies, and then I don't know if you've heard about Mozart effect.
Oh
It's
yeah. I haven't really heard much about it, but yeah.
okay. So Mozart music, it seems to have a very positive effect on babies' brains in
Okay.
terms of development and soothing. So when the life goes on month after month, then you can introduce classical music, and it relaxes babies and help them develop. I can't explain why this happens, but
Very
Mozart was
interesting.
genius in this matter. So we have white noise, the sensor, lullabies, and classical music.
Okay.
Everything in one heart.
Yeah. So what
One.
age obviously do you usually go up to for, or even do you recommend for using sort of all of those?
So it's very it depends on the baby or on the child even, because some babies use it for 3 months, some babies use it for 1 year. According to our research from the UK, some people use it even for 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Or even longer. So white noise actually works for everyone.
Yeah.
Mm, our daughter, who is now 13, so she was using it last year as well, where there was a lot of stress with COVID and things like
Yeah.
that. So it works. So that's why we have also devices for adults with slightly different sounds.
Yeah.
So it's pretty extensive. Obviously, children after 1.5 years, they want to experience more.
Yeah.
So we are also working on something, and we will introduce it next year.
Okay.
To even further go even further and further. The whole idea is to have a device, or to have a toy that lasts for longer and longer and longer, so that you don't need to keep on buying different gadgets for babies, but you buy one, and its lifespan is longer. It's good in terms of economy for parents, and for the planet as well, so that you don't throw away devices that you don't use anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously you're saying in terms of like you've got your white noise and then you've got your lullabies, I know like
Classical.
often, yeah, sorry, classical. I know, like even like in Australia, like I haven't really heard of that much before with introducing sort of even your classical and that sort of thing. I know white noise is just very much like children will have it till they're, 1, 2, throughout the night. Would you usually, like with your devices even, would you sort of do the white noise up to say they're 1 or whatever, and then start doing, your lullabies and things like that? Is that how you work it, or is that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So there is a sequence, and there is no simple recipe here that's from moment X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
You could try with classical music after 3 months, and with lullabies. These are more or less at the same time. So 3 months. But white noise is more universal. Yeah. So from day one, that's also very important.
Yeah.
For still like 1.5 years even.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. That's very interesting. And have you sort of done much, like even research or study around sort of using babies with, say, white noise, all that comfort noise, versus sort of children that don't have that? Is there research behind that?
So this is based on our own experience, and this is based on what consumers are telling us. And there are some regulations that we follow. For example, when it comes to the volume of the noise. So what we know is that it's not really optimal to expose your baby to white noise throughout the day and isolate it totally from any other sounds, and just expose the baby to white noise. That's not the intention, and that's not good to do it like that. So volume is safe, and some people might be saying, "Oh, why is it so low?" Because that's how it should be. And that's enough to put babies to sleep. So we need to be aware that what we hear as adults is slightly different from what babies hear and experience. So for us, a noise like shh might be strange and annoying, but for babies it's okay. And probably we expect a higher volume, and babies expect lower. So there was some research done on those potential negative effects, like total isolation and just white noise. So that's that we understand and that we don't recommend. So you need to have other sources of sound as well.
Okay, that would even. Sorry.
And it's not good to use it all the time. Just when the stress is there. So.
Have you had much did you find a lot of difference between sort of having your different types of sounds? Like I know a lot of companies do just white noise, and they wouldn't sort of introduce those lullabies and things that you have. Is that? There was obviously quite a reason behind why you introduce more sounds and things like that.
So it's all about variation. Like some people prefer pink noise, they call it, but it's more or less based on the same phenomenon. And or heartbeat, for example, that's also what we have, or the sound of rain or the ocean. So different different babies, maybe from different regions, have different likes and dislikes. So it's all about trying to adapt to the baby and finding the right tune.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, that's really good. I haven't ever come across a company that does mostly all of that you do. So that's really very interesting.
Yeah, but you inspired me, but that's probably a completely insane idea to create some sort of matrix. Okay, factor X, Y, Z. And for this, you have this noise. For this, you have this this sound. If you come from the north, you do that.
I think we just need a global thing. It's like time zones. It would be handy if we were all on the same time zone, wouldn't it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. No, that is super interesting to hear. And so how long have you obviously been doing everything with that company for?
So I've been working there for 2 years, but the company is already present for the last 5 years in the market.
Okay.
Yeah. So started in Poland, and then there was expansion. Everyone loved it, especially in Europe. So Germany, France, and the UK. Yeah. And now we are in Australia as well.
Australia. Yeah. I think that's where I came across you all. That's really cool. And so sort of did you want to tell our sort of audience a little bit more about your product or your business or anything?
Yeah, so again, we have different types of toys. We have bears, we have bunnies, and we have different kinds of devices that you put inside the products.
Okay, so would you buy those separately? Is that how it works?
No. You buy them in a set. So they come together. There is a little hole here.
Yeah.
And yes, sorry for this, but I will stick it right up the bottom, and here we go. And that's the full toy.
Yeah. Okay. And so the 3 different sounds.
3 different
in part of the set, or yeah.
No. You choose when you browse when you browse in our shop. You choose different types. So you choose different type of the toy and then the device.
Yeah.
So it's like, basic, more premium, and even more premium. Something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. And what's the sort of? I suppose it's. Do you know sort of the price point that people would look at? Even I know Polish would be completely different to Australia.
Yeah. So this is our Australian shop. Yeah, and that's the best seller, by the way, the gray bunny.
Yeah.
Then if you click on it, it should work.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, so you can choose the colors. Yeah. And here you have the different
noises.
Yeah, white noise plus sensor, and 3-in-1. White noise, lullabies, and 10 pieces of classical music. So the cheapest one is $69.99 Australian.
Yeah.
And the most expensive is for $89.99 Australian dollars.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. So you have 5 different sounds. So here it is: white, pink, rain, and so on. Mm-hmm. Here are the lullabies and classical music. Yeah. And don't worry, these are not Polish lullabies. These are.
I would never know what Polish ones are.
Yeah, so they were recorded by us, especially Yeah, and the same with classical music. So this was recorded by us for babies, with special
Yeah.
touch to it.
Amazing. That's very cool. And I love that they're actually like a toy that you can actually, your little kid can actually cuddle and everything. That's really cool.
Yeah. And what's also very interesting is that they are produced in Poland, so in European Union.
Yeah.
So with really high quality
Fabrics and things. Yeah.
Yeah, and safe 100% with all those certificates and so on.
Amazing. That's very cool. No, I've definitely seen them a little bit around Australia, so I recommend all of our audience to check them out. And is there what's the myHummy? Is that how you say it? myHummy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, myHummy. So it's from humming noise.
Yeah. Yeah.
myHummy, exactly. myHummy.
They're cool. What's your favorite of them all?
Well, I tend to have
A few.
a similar taste to the general public. So the gray rabbit is the best seller.
Yeah.
Just like I like Big Mac from Maca. Yeah, is this how you call them?
Big
Maca?
Mac.
And the McDonald's
Yeah,
Maca?
McDonald's. Yeah. Big Mac. Yeah. We would call it that. Yeah. Don't know how you go from Bears to a Big Mac, but no, that's very cool. I definitely recommend all of our viewers and everything to check it out. But yeah, that's awesome. It's obviously helped a lot of your audience, a lot of your parents with sleeping struggles. And I know white noise is a massive thing nowadays. You barely come across a baby that doesn't sleep without it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very big, and I love how creative we've turned it into like a bunny and a toys and stuff. So that's cool. It's very cool. Was there anything else that you wanted to sort of tell our audience about, or?
Yeah, I just thought of one story when our daughter was born, and she cried a lot, and there were no white noise devices at that time. And I remember, I had to go for walks in a park with her in a trolley, and the movement sometimes helped, sometimes didn't. And I held her very close to me and tried to hug her. And I remember, and she was crying like a lot and very loudly in the park. And then this one old lady comes to me and says, "You know what? Try to hold her not on the right side, but next to your heart." And I switched the side. Mamma mia, it worked.
Wow.
Close to the heart.
Can they sense, obviously, the heartbeat? Always.
I don't know what that is. If it's the sound or if it's the vibration.
The feeling of it, yeah.
Yeah. And then she was like immediately. So
wow. Well, there you go. That's a cool trick.
Yeah. So when you do that, it's also good to focus on your own breath. Take a deep breath and out, and then your heart would even out. And this would probably, that's my hypothesis. I'm also a yoga teacher, so probably that helps as well. This calming yourself down.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I'm going to try that next time. That's amazing. Cool. That's a very cool little trick. Sorry, my screen's starting to get a bit dark because it's night time over here, but that's all right. That's really cool. I like that story. Okay. So obviously, everyone's able to jump on the website and everything if they'd like to shop it. You've got obviously social media pages and things like that for everyone to check out.
Yeah. So it's myHummy.com.au.
.au, yep, for everyone in Australia. And then your socials and everything.
It's the same, myHummy.au.
Perfect. Definitely recommend for everyone to jump over there and give you guys a follow and shop on your website. I noticed you've actually got in Australia a 30% off running at the moment. So now's a very good time to jump on and shop for them.
Yeah, early Black Week.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it? I don't know how it came so fast.
Yeah.
Good little Christmas present, I think, for the little ones. But,
Exactly.
yeah, that's awesome. I hope that everything's going obviously well for you over in Poland.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, indeed, we will participate in the Black Week as well. I'm not going to reveal what we're going to do.
Yeah, everyone's going to follow along for what's coming up. This new product or thing that you're bringing out.
Yeah.
I'm curious now. That's very cool. Yeah, well, thank you so much for jumping on and sharing your tips and stories, and I recommend everyone to get one as well as trying the story of the child on the heart. That's very cool.
Yeah, so remember about myHummy.
Definitely jump on the website myhummy.com.au and shop while they're 30% off. I will actually probably say the code as well so that they're able to get 30% off. We've got Crazy Fry Sale 30 is the 30% off code. So jump on now and check you guys out. Follow your socials and everything. And thank you very much, Sebastian, for jumping on. Is there any parting words you'd like to give our audience?
Yeah, so we love babies around the world, and we love you as well. Stay cool.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much.